When Hitler came to power, we started moving around Europe trying to find a safe place. It was not a good time to be Jewish. My mother then did a very brave thing. She organised for my sister and I to be put on a so-called Kindertransport rescue train. When I got to England, a lot of well-meaning people said to me, 5-year-old, "Aren't you lucky to be alive?" I was lucky to be alive, and I got this feeling that I needed to justify my survival. I got this rather priggish, I am going to lead a life that was worth saving. I loved mathematics even at school, and much to my school's horror, I wanted to study mathematics, and girls' schools in those days didn't really do science. I really fought to be taught mathematics and had to transfer to the boys' school. And that was a useful introduction to the sexism of the workforce when I actually joined them. Let me take you back to the early 1960s. To get past the gender issues of the time, I set up my own software house, one of the first such startups in Britain, but it was also a company of women, a company for women, an early social business. And people laughed at the very idea because software at that time was given away free with hardware. Nobody would buy software, certainly not from a woman. And I wanted opportunities for women. I recruited professionally qualified women who'd left the industry on marriage or when their first child was expected and structured them into a home-working organization. Because of the sexism of the day, I found that signing my business development letters, Stephanie Shirley, Shirley being my marital name, got no response whatsoever. My dear husband of now over 50 years suggested that I use the family nickname of Steve. Things began to take off. I've been Steve ever since.
F International is a multi-million-pound computer systems house with more than 600 freelance operators. You won't find many of them here at the Chesham head office, though, because most of the people at the sharp end of the job work from home. Linda English works for F International as a computer programmer. She has a modern, well-equipped kitchen, 2 children, and a bubble-memoried terminal. The final act of writing a computer program is to send hundreds of lines of text to the computer you're programming. Linda can write and store the program she's working on at times most convenient to her, when the children are asleep or at school. When the job is done, the computer's only a phone call away. Linda is in the forefront of perhaps the biggest revolution for working mothers since the pill. The office and the home is rather like having your cake and eating it.
And we pioneered the concept of women going back into the workforce after a career break. We pioneered all sorts of new flexible work methods, job shares, profit sharing, and eventually co-ownership when I took a quarter of the company into the hands of the staff at no cost to anyone but me. Our programmers, remember, only women, including gay and transgender, worked with pencil and paper to develop flowcharts defining each task to be done. And they then wrote code, usually machine code, sometimes binary code, which was then sent by mail to a data center to be punched onto paper tape or card, and then repunched in order to verify it. All this before it ever got near the computer. That was programming in the early 1960s. And who would have guessed that the programming of the black box flight recorder of supersonic Concorde would have been done by a bunch of women working in their own homes? I had built a determination that I was not going to let other people define me, to break through, to do something new, to not be put off by the conventions of the day. I really, really believe that any individual can make a difference. Male or female, there's so many exciting things going on in the computing industry that if you have an idea, a dream, something that you want to do, then just go for it.